What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Philadelphia has been going through some tough years as the murder rate every year is going up almost 10 to 15 to 20% every year. The murder rate is rising like, the S&P 500 on a bull run. That's really what it's looking like. If you had a stock that represented the murder rate in Philadelphia in the last 7 years, anybody would invest in that percentage. That's how bad it's getting. Okay? It's like if it was a cryptocurrency, you would invest in it. That's how ruthless Philadelphia is. And Philadelphia is going to hit 500 murders this year, for sure. But the murder I'm talking about today was that involving a young lady by the name of Jessica Covington. Now, she was outside of her home, and she was basically unloading gifts for her baby shower. Someone came, shot her in the head, in the stomach, killing the unborn child. She was shot at least 11 times in the abdomen. Okay. Now, what is so much different than the years prior? Let's even look at the Michael Nutter administration, which the Mr. Mayor Nutter, where the murder rate was somewhat slightly smaller. You saw these homicides really being reflected in black men. But now what you're seeing in Philadelphia, there are numerous shootings of black women. And these are like violent execution style murders. Okay? And why is that? This generation of guys, okay, are starting to look at women, in my opinion, and this opinion is not my own. It is George Macon and some other brothers, I believe, that he knows, that these guys of today have less sympathy for the femininity of women who are out here in these streets. In other words, society is teaching these young men that women are as equal as men. Okay? So when these guys are out here killing and shooting, that's their mentality. It's a theory. I'm not sure, but it does sound good. Okay? Because there was a time that even guys who were the killers and the robbers, shooting women, unless they were really involved in it and in gang stuff like that, that would never happen. But you're not seeing that now. And this is, and I want to go back to this because this is something that I think that feminism is getting wrong. Okay? When feminism wants women to be equal to men, it could be interpreted by people who are slow that women and men are equal on every level, which we know that's not the case. All right? It's not the case. And when George was talking to me about it, it made a lot of sense. Women and men are not equal on every level. So you can't. And guys in the street, I believe, are more prone to not have the sympathy or have the empathy towards, that's a woman, I'm not going to do that. No, these criminals are getting worse and worse. And then when you see women talking about, here's the violence amongst women, and that's true. It definitely is true in Philadelphia. Right? But see, here's what has to be taught also. It needs to be very, 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 very clear that women and men deserve the same rights in the workforce. Okay? But also that women and men can't do the same things. And the reason why, because men have to protect women in societies. It's just how the world works. There's no way of getting around it. And some guys in the master, they offer the street. They offer this. Listen. I've been in countries before. Let me tell you something. I've lived in countries, or I've been in countries where Normal women don't have a whole lot of protection. You know what you get over there? A lot of poverty. You get a lot of crimes. You get a lot of high childbirth. It's necessary. Okay? Society will be destroyed. All right? If women don't have these protections. All right? It's just the truth of it. Gonna be destroyed. And what's so important is that a lot of these guys have been taught by, I'm going to say this also. I think that a lot of young black men who are in these criminal acts, you would think that it was a time where black men, young black men, and to be honest, I don't know why she was shot. That does seem something to be a little bit more personal. So I don't know the reason why it happened. But what I can say is, back in the 70s and 80s, coming from single parent homes, black men were more sympathetic to women in the streets. Now in this generation, these young men are more violent towards women in the streets. So they're getting less and less emotionally tied to these women. That's a problem. Okay? This is why black men are important. This is why black men mentorship is important. Okay? This is further proof that women cannot protect themselves as much as men can come in and build for women and create for women, create for communities so that the crime goes down. And we're going to keep having this conversation in Black America, because even though this is a black management community, we are part of the black community. Don't get it twisted. We are part of the black community. Our voice in the black community is just as important as everybody else's. And when you don't have black men in the community, when they are not incentivized to create things, when there is no businesses there, when there are no men there to help mentor some of these guys, if there are no fathers there, then you get this. I think George was telling me he's the only, listen to what I'm saying. On his block, George Macon is the only man that's married. Every other child that's over there don't have a father, which puts enormous pressure on him, because when he wants to take his son to go someplace, then here come the friends. Don't nobody care about him. Nobody cares about them. And so when these young men come up with nobody caring about them, and if they think that their mama don't care about them, when it comes to innocent women, then they're going to go out there again. And now you used to see black men who thought that nobody cared about them. They would take the anger out on other black men. Now what you're seeing is guys who don't have nothing to live for. They just killing anybody. Women, children, don't matter. And it's something that has to be really discussed, family. So guys, what are you doing? What do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first comment from the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.